Hi. In this video, we're going to learn about alternate nostril breathing from the yogic tradition where it's called nadi, shodhana, pranayama. That's Sanskrit. So this is the instruction video, and I'll go through all of the whys and hows and do a little demo, but then after you have a grasp of what's going on here, you can find the practice video, and that's just me supporting you through doing the practice. So you can find that easily and get support to establish this practice for yourself. Why would you want to practice alternate nostril breathing? Well, its main effect is in balancing the hemispheres of the brain. It also stimulates the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems both at the same time. So it fosters a state of focused, relaxed awareness. It alleviates both anxiety and depression. And another big benefit is that it charges the bioelectric field of the body, making it more resilient and less susceptible to the effects of EMFs. And you can find another video on this channel all about EMFs, the effects, and how to mitigate them. So ideally, when beginning this practice of alternate nostril breathing, you will have had some sort of breath practice already. So if you have had any kind of yoga practice or qigong or tai chi, where you're like linking the breath with awareness and movements of the body, that's a great foundation. If you have no experience with any of that, you might start with just like a sitting breathing awareness practice where you just sit and breathe normally for you and let your awareness follow the breath. So doing that for a while can create a nice foundation for doing this practice, which is a little more advanced. And certainly if at any point doing this practice you have any discomfort, if you get hot, if your head gets hot, or if anxiety arises in your system from doing the breathing practice, stop right away and maybe lie down or sit and just breathe normally until you kind of have a return to a normal state, right? So as we get into this practice, you might notice that one nostril is easier to breathe through than the other. And I remember hearing that the dominant nostril will switch throughout the day, and maybe that's what I remember hearing is about every 2.5 hours. I don't know if that's true. I've tried to track it in myself, and I haven't been able to like track down any pattern necessarily. But I do find sometimes one nostril is easier to breathe through than the other. And that's just normal. Don't let that throw you off. Don't let it bother you. Obviously, if you're totally stopped up on one side, this practice is going to be challenging. So if that's the case, maybe just do a sitting breath awareness practice and wait until you can breathe through both nostrils. This practice is done in 9 rounds, and I'll get into showing you what a round is. So you could start with fewer, you could start with like 5, but typically it's done in 9 rounds. And ideally, you would do this practice between an asana or movement practice and a sitting meditation practice. And ideally, you would do this practice at dawn and dusk. However, I am going to encourage you to just do the practice. Especially before engaging in any like focused creative activity. If you're working at a desk all day, you could try doing a set of alternate nostril breathing in the afternoon instead of going for like a coffee or a sugar treat to kind of get you through the rest of the day, try this instead and just see. So the practice goes like this. You want to have a good seat. This is the first part. So right now I'm sitting on the floor on a yoga mat with a folded blanket under me. And you could have a cushion or a folded blanket, and then you could sit with your legs crossed in front, which is how I am right now, or you could have your feet by your hips with your knees forward, or you could do half of one and half of the other. So one foot back by your hip and the other crossed in front. This is called deer pose. It's very supportive, really nice option. And then also it's great to sit in a chair, sit sort of at the edge of a chair so your feet are flat on the floor. You want your feet to be flat. And the main thing is you want your spine to be straight and tall. So find your good seat so that your spine can extend easily upward. And then you want to just let your breath, I mean, if you've been doing an asana practice or some sort of movement practice, or if you have been rushing around, stressed out, when you find your seat, you want to just let your breath regulate and kind of come back into like a natural, easy flow. Okay, so the practice is often taught to have your left hand palm up, resting in your lap, and to bring your right hand up to your face. And I practiced like this for a long time, and then I realized that that wasn't feeling supportive to me. I'm right-handed. I use my right hand for a lot of things. It's often forward and holding things up, and I just was like, that's not working for me anymore. So I refined the practice, and now I use my left hand. And I recommend using your non-dominant hand. Any chance we have to like strengthen the non-dominant arm and give the dominant arm a rest, like that's a good opportunity. Okay, so, and then I also support it with my other arm. Okay, so this hand is on this shoulder, fingers up, and we'll come back to that in a moment. And then these two fingers come in between the eyebrows. And I like this because it's like a little facelift action, right? To kind of take the pressure off all the focused concentrating that I do. So I like this little lift that I get here. And then we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger to very gently close off each nostril in its turn. So you don't need to like clamp down. You'll just gently place your finger or thumb on the edge of your nose and press in just a little bit, and that's enough. You don't need a lot of pressure. It can be a gentle touch. So each round of breath begins and ends with an exhale through the left nostril. So we'll begin by taking a full breath in through both nostrils, and then gently closing the right nostril, breathing out through the left. Breathing in through the left. And then switch, close off the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch, breathe out through the left. And that's a round. And here's where this hand comes in. So now that I've done one round, I'm going to put one finger down. Breathe in through the left. Switch. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. That's the second round, so another finger comes down. Breathe in through the left. Out through the right. Spine nice and tall. In through the right. Out through the left. That's the third round. Another finger comes down. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. And out through the left. That's 4. Another finger comes down. So we just go on like this. The 5th round will bring my thumb down, and then after that 5th round, I'll just lift up my 4 fingers and then count 4 more to 9. So I really like using my fingers in this way because it takes the burden of counting off of my mind and puts it on my body. So my body can just handle that, and then I don't have to think about, oh, how many rounds have I done? Where am I? That can get stressful. You really want your awareness to be able to rest and focus on the breath. So you want to like really be with the sensation of the air coming in and out of the nostrils, and your body will learn the rhythm of the switching and the counting with practice, which is why I'm making that practice video, so I can support you to gain that, the body memory, the cellular memory of that, and then your body just knows what to do, and you can keep your awareness focused on the breath, where you're going to get the most benefit from this practice. So with that, we are complete, and look for the alternate nostril breathing practice video on this channel.